Kasi yan yung fear of those who are, those people who doesn't want to use technology. They're scared of it because they think that they will be replaced. But that's actually not true. Technology is here to make our task faster, easier, streamlined, yes, but doesn't necessarily mean that you will be replaced. Kasi sino gagawa ng content? So, kunyari, sa mga teachers, no? Because Ardina and I are both from the education industry. So, sino gagawa ng lesson plan? Sino magke-create ng content for learners? So, for the training naman, sino magke-create ng training content?
So, good evening, everyone. Good evening to members of the HR Shouts and Whispers Facebook page. Okay, so this is a Saturday evening once again, and we're going to have a productive discussion on learning management systems and redefined. Why redefined? Because we're going to explain, okay, and shatter some myths on learning management systems. Okay, so we have with us directors of, so we have with us the directors of Cypher Learning, and we're going to talk about their learning management system platform. Okay, and of course they have here JP. Okay, so you actually meet him when he's posting their ads, and when when you're chatting with him on their messenger. Okay, but anyhow, okay, I'll introduce. Okay, so Miss Jen Padernal. Okay, she's the director of their global EdTech program of Cypher Learning. And we have with us also Miss Arlene Roa Awayan. She's the director of the client success, department of Cypher Learning. Hi, guys.
Hello. Hi, Christina. Good
Hi,
evening,
Christina.
everybody. Happy Saturday to everyone.
Yes. So how are your Saturdays, ladies?
A bit busy, but good. All good.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. Okay, great. So anyhow, okay, so I think a lot of our members here, so they actually, we've heard about learning management systems, okay, because this has become a buzzword because it's COVID and people, of course, there's a challenge to face-to-face meetings or face-to-face gatherings. So how about, Miss Jen, can you elaborate about Cypher Learning and what it does?
Sure. Please allow me to share my screen. I've prepared something here to introduce the company just very shortly. Short lang siya, introduction and what we do so that it's so everybody can visualize what I'm talking about. So I'm going to be sharing my screen. So the company is called Cypher Learning. It's based in San Francisco in California. That's where our headquarters is. And we provide a learning management system for schools, for universities, for business, and for individual entrepreneur. So just a little bit of a historical background. When we started, so the company started in 2009. The first platform that was launched is NEO. So NEO is the learning management system for schools and universities. And then year after that, Matrix was launched. That's the platform naman, LMS for business organization. And then later on, another platform was launched for Indie, that's for individual entrepreneurs. So some statistics, facts about the company. So we have presence in over 100 countries. So we're actually global, and we're being used by around 20,000 organizations already. We have millions of users. We support 40 different languages. We already have around 17 offices globally. We are also a multi-awarded company. So these are just some of the awards that was given to Cypher Learning and the platform that we have. And as mentioned, we have 3 products: NEO for schools and universities, Matrix for business, and Indie for individual entrepreneur. So just a quick overview about Matrix. So this is a learning management system that helps different business organizations and companies manage all of their training activities, their training needs, whether that's creating and delivering their content, evaluating their employee performance, tracking their progress, training their clients, their partners, and even selling online courses. So we have a feature that's called e-commerce, which will allow companies to sell their online courses or have people outside from their organization enroll in a course and then they pay for it. So just summary of some of the features, powerful features that we have. So Matrix will allow you to create training materials, train your easily create engaging courses. That's one. And then we support instructor-led delivery, self-paced, blended, micro courses. We also have the capability to create a learning path. And then yung mga content, it can be synchronized. So mas madali for L&D to create their content. And then if they have a lot of content, similar contents, they can just replicate it, synchronize the content. We have integration with a lot of third-party content provider also. In terms naman of learners or yung mga magte-take ng training, so the platform is very clean, very intuitive yung design, and it will allow any learner or trainees to have access to the training content anytime, anywhere. So as you mentioned, pandemic nga ngayon, so most likely most of the employees or those are taking training are working from home. So if they're not inside their training room, so they can still have access to the training content that's provided by their company anytime, anywhere. So another feature ni Matrix LMS, as mentioned kanina, we have an e-commerce capability. We have integrated with different payment gateways. And the purpose of that is that if a company, if an organization has courses that they want to sell or they want other people to have access to their content outside of the organization, they can simply enroll in that course and pay for it. So para ka din nasa school, you pay for an enrollment in a course, and it can happen in the platform because we have a lot of payment gateways that can cater to payment for the enrollment in a particular training program. And then, of course, the Matrix LMS can also make training more engaging because that's very important these days. Now, especially if we're doing self-paced courses or self-paced training, so we have gamification features that will allow the L&D team or the training team to automatically award points and badges to those who are taking the course and probably integrate that into a reward system or any perks that they can get based on the points that they have gathered or earned by taking the courses inside Matrix LMS. And also another powerful feature that we have is automation. We were talking kanina, how can we make our lives a little bit easier pagdating sa learning, sa training team. Yung mga manual things na ginagawa natin before, whether that's checking the progress, tracking the progress, or if they were given an activity that needs to be checked, it can be automatically done na in Matrix LMS. So we have a very powerful automation rules wherein you can also add conditions and actions that the system will automatically do for you, depending on the progress that the learner is making or depending on the certain conditions that you have set. So point and click lang siya. So for example, once an employee or a trainee has finished a particular course, I want to enroll that trainee automatically into the next course. So that can be done automatically in the platform already. So another one would be assessment. You're assessing the learning or evaluating the learning of the knowledge that the trainees have gained. So we have 15 different types of assessment. So from the MCQ type, from essay, debate, discussion forum, all of those types of assessments and evaluation can also be done in the platform. And right after they take the test, there's already an instant analytics. So may instant insight na, automatically done na din yan by Matrix LMS so that you don't have to do an import-export and then create a graph just for you to be able to see how the students are progressing or yung learning nila in a graphical way, so that can be done automatically. And then, of course, after you take the course, very common sa atin, we provide certificates. So previously, how do we award certificates? Diba? We print, we type, we print manually. yung mga names. So if a trainee is taking like two course, so dalawang certificate yung gagawin, ipiprint, and then you'll award it to them or send it to them face to face. But with Matrix LMS, you just need a template of certificate, and every time an employee finishes a course, automatically the system populates that with the information about the course that they have taken, when they finished it, what's the title of that module, automatic, and when they finish, it's automatically awarded to them. It's a digital certificate, but it can also be downloaded and printed. So another feature that we have, you probably would be wondering, may mobile app pa yan? So we have a mobile app also. We have an app for iOS, for Android, and of course Windows native app. The Matrix will also allow you to define courses that are required for compliance. So meron kaming compliance features, detailed analytics on learners' compliance, and then integration with automation systems. So all of this and more are just some of the features that we have available in Matrix. Yeah. So that's kind of like a quick summary of what a company is and then what Matrix can do. I hope that's helpful to our viewers.
Well, it's very good. Okay, this is like a very good overview of Cypher Learning or Matrix LMS. Okay, so because I discovered your company because I've been surfing Facebook, because I've been a very heavy user of Facebook, and I saw one of your ads, and oh, this one looks good because for a coach or trainer like I am, okay, I would like to have everything automated because it's like, you deliver the training, we write the training course, we design it, and then after we do our training, we need to actually provide reports for our clients. Okay, so Jen and Arlene, okay, so I was listening to your presentation. So do you have like a package for trainers, and do you have a package for companies, or how does it work? How can they subscribe, or how can they use, and if they want to use your platform, how can they purchase it?
Arlene, did you want to address that?
Yeah, maybe Arlene can elaborate on it.
Hi, good evening. Yeah, so in our website, matrixlms.com, they will find that you can look at certain price packages or LMS packages depending on the size of your organization, which makes our plans scalable. So the way we look at our packages is based on active learners. So what that means is, for example, if you have, let's say, 5,000 employees, but on the average, on a monthly basis, you only train, say, 1,000 employees every month, you can create accounts for all of your employees, retain their records, their training records, but get a plan that's only for 1,000 learners. And then you can just manage how they enroll based on the schedules of training. So usually when we go into conversations with potential customers, we have that kind of conversation, asking them about the average number of learners every month, so we can have a really cost-efficient plan for them. And it's also scalable in the sense that, for example, we usually have town halls around maybe certain quarters of the year or certain months of the year, or maybe a leadership strategic planning, and we want to explore the use of the LMS as a way to gather information or for L&D. So you can have flexibility to easily scale up and scale down your plans. So I think that's also a great way for different kinds of organizations who want to start this. They can simply purchase a plan and start exploring with different programs before they fully scale up. So there's a lot of options.
Good, perfect. And actually, you posted your promo, so you have a 14-day trial. So I see it on our page. So those organizations, okay, those who are watching, if you want to get the feel of how it's a walkthrough of how the system works, you can actually avail of the 14-day trial period.
That's it. Yeah, and what we're really happy helping clients also when they start inquiring about our platform We also help somehow customize it because, of course, different industries will have different approaches for training, right? So whether it's in healthcare, pharmaceutical, manufacturing, they will have different training requirements, different training modalities, and we help them customize their platforms as well. So that's really suited for their industry, not just in their industry, but the way their company operates.
I see. Okay. So anyhow, okay, so that's great. And then wait, I have a question for you. So what are the industries who have taken advantage of your service?
Probably the name we cannot mention, but the industry we probably can kasi normally we have an NDA. So we have from financial institution, healthcare, retail, meron pa ba ako nakalimutan? Manufacturing.
Well, here in the Philippines, there's two that in the Philippines, we have two that we can mention. One is Republic Cement. Their Operations Excellence University is powered by Matrix LMS. And also Potato Corner. So Potato Corner is using our platform. But as Jen mentioned, we have different organizations, a lot in the coffee industry, manufacturing, retail, fast-moving consumer goods, and
fast
even
food.
even in outside of the country, since we're a global company, we also have a lot of cosmetic brands and even IT software companies. So it's really a wide range of organizations, even content creators, publishers as well. So it's really a very interesting mix of customers that we have globally.
Oh, and you know what makes me excited about this? Because this is technology. Okay, and of course, everyone's excited to, make things easier for them. So yun nga yung pinag-uusapan namin ni Jen and si Arlene, pinag-uusapan namin yung actually yung pag-print ng certificates, okay? That's one. Yeah. Yes. But you see, when you introduce, kasi this one, it will also, well, there's a misconception that this introducing technology to training, this will streamline, okay, the process. And, trainers, okay, they're actually, they are apprehensive about that because they feel that they're going to be replaced. Okay, I'll ask both of you. You're both educators, okay? Before you joined the corporate world, you were educators, okay? So how do you feel about that opinion, okay, that technology will replace these educators or trainers? So we'll start with Miss Jen and then Miss Arlene, okay?
Right. So yun yung common misconception, I'll call it really a myth. Kasi yan yung fear of those who are, those people who doesn't want to use technology. They're scared of it because they think that they will be replaced. But that's actually not true. Technology is here to make our task faster, easier, streamlined, yes, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you will be replaced. Kasi sino gagawa ng content? So kunyari, sa mga teachers, no? Because Arlene and I are both from the education industry. So, sino gagawa ng lesson plan? Sino mag-create ng content for learners? So, for the training naman, sino mag-create ng training content? Sino mag-check ng progress of those who are taking the training? So, we have to remember the technology is it's just a tool. It's not the end all and be all of training. It's not the end all and be all of education. It's a tool that will help us make things much more easier for us, and this would make the avenue for learning much more bigger, whether that's a student or whether that's a training or sa company. Hindi natin kalaban sa technology. That's a common misconception. Hindi tayo mare-replace. Sino mare-replace sa katrabaho? Yung mga ayaw gumamit ng technology. Probably might be replaced kasi IT is here to stay. We are already part of a highly technological economy. Even yung mga graduates natin, mga estudyante pa lang ngayon, mas magaling pa yan sa atin sa technology. So the world of business is there na in information technology. Nandun na tayo. So we need to adapt so that we won't be replaced by those who are early adapters. Don't be scared.
Yeah, don't be scared. How about Miss Arlene?
Yeah, so I'll cite two examples. One is from one of our customers here in the Philippines. So they have like around 400 branches of their stores that they manage. So before using an LMS, they had to print manuals for each training program that they run with their employees for each branch, right? And can you imagine they run maybe say 3 programs? So just the cost of printing alone, the company saves money, but also operationally, the task of printing and distributing all of these manuals to all 400 or more branches nationwide. Plus also, if they mentioned in a business review, if they need to do a reprint, they have to do the reprint and distribute it again. So it saves time, it saves money, and also transforms the learning experience because everyone knows that I can still continue to learn because before when you go on-site training, right? You have that focus of being able to get the knowledge during when you are there, but somehow you have limited ways of getting back to that learning experience. Whereas when you are in an LMS, if you need to refresh your memory or review what was done in the training, there's always a way to do that. That is very convenient and accessible anytime, anywhere. The second, I used to work as an OD and training manager for an agricultural chemicals company. And part of when we were doing the process of getting certified for ISO 9001 certification for the 2015 standard. Of course, when you talk about training, right? Training planning, documentation, training effectiveness, training history, training records. All of these documentation requirements are really a pain. And even, as you mentioned, issuing certificates to each one. And when I became aware of Matrix, I can really see how it streamlines and makes it so convenient to manage training. And it's not just about, when you talk about training evaluation, did you like the speaker? Did you like the topic? Did you like the food or the venue? You can have deeper evaluation of training that you align with target competencies that L&D can set. And then based on their performance and assessments, you can really see whether the training was effective based on knowledge or even performance tasks. So it provides a richer training experience.
Yeah. Yes, because the thing about the reason why we can never, I mean, sometimes it's difficult to measure training effectiveness, ROI, because the training department, they have to prepare. It's like, an event. They're always preparing for an event, and then just printing the manuals and then making sure that the manuals are
logistics,
ready. Yeah, they're tasked with logistics pa. Yeah. So that's why this one takes care of the logistics, and the trainers can really, do the evaluation of the training program.
Yeah. But maybe, Christina, if I can add to this, right? So we're not saying that, on-site training that will be replaced. We still miss doing that, right? In some points, what we see moving forward is that blended will be best. So you can manage like when will we decide to do an on-site training? It will be purposive, right? So if you see that there's a need for quicker interaction or maybe performance demonstration or tasks that really require the use of instruments or tools, that's the time you go on site. So you can be more strategic about your choices, whether it's on-site or online training. So we're not replacing those.
Yes, like what Matrix, diba? Yung capability niya to support different delivery of training, whether it's blended, self-paced, instructor-led, or even hybrid. Kasi ngayon, hybrid some of the employees can be inside the training room while the others are attending online, and it can be done simultaneously at the same time na, kasi ngayon limited na rin sa loob ng training session natin. Social distancing na rin, kung dati 40, baka ngayon mga 15 na lang. So what about that? They also need to attend. So nagiging hybrid na din. So Matrix definitely can support that kind of delivery.
Yeah, that's what this is like parang like imagine, okay, like you have a program, okay, so maybe the ones that are requiring a little bit of theoretical background, diba? They can, kasi minsan mahirap in, like, to focus, like when you have to explain some concepts, that they can do that at the comfort of
Yeah.
their seats or
Mhm,
the
mhm,
cubicles or homes, diba?
mhm,
So they're more focused. And then when it comes to, like, yun nga, they need to be able to demonstrate the skill, you can
mhm.
have like a face-to-face interaction. Yeah.
Yes,
It's
yes.
kind of like flipped na then you give them, you put in the LMS what they need to read, what they need to watch, and then pagdating dun sa on-site, that's the time that they will do the task. Dun yung demonstration. So you can do something like that as well. Maganda din siya kasi pag after the on-site discussion, if the trainee needs to read again,
Mhm,
or parang ipi-playback natin kasi hindi naman lahat ng ma-attend ng training pagkatapos ng training they get it right away, so they need to
mhm,
look at the content again, so they have that handy in the LMS anytime anywhere they can access it.
mhm. And then there's one I just remembered one customer mentioning to me that because they had the LMS, they were able to reach their target training hours for all their employees
Yes.
despite the pandemic. So it's really, yeah. So can you imagine they were able to achieve their KPIs with the help of the LMS?
True. And then yung isang financial institution was also using
Mhm.
Matrix LMS. Yung L&D team nila is working from home, pero they were able to continue with the training that's needed, that's required for their employees.
And this is like a off the air when we were discussing, okay, when we were discussing, when we were testing our technicals, you can actually use this not just for L&D but for recruitment.
Ah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
selection
yeah,
process. Yung
yeah.
pinag-usapan namin kanina, Irene,
Mm, yes,
Christina,
yes,
can you use that? So
yes.
sa recruitment,
Mhm,
after you recruit, selection process, you put all of those applicants in an LMS, provide
mhm,
them with an activity or with a task, and then
mhm,
automatically set the requirements or yung evaluation mo, parameters mo to evaluate the learner, and then automatically the system is doing that for you. And then you can easily compare. If you have 10 applicants in one position, same task will be given to them, same exam will be given to them, and then the system is automatically creating analytics for that instant insight. So kung ako yung nag-evaluate, kita ko na kagad based on that kung sino yung nangunguna dun sa mga applicants. So there's a lot of things that they can do with the platform. It depends on how they want to use it, ano yung objective nila. It's configurable based on the process that they have.
Yeah, because I usually, like, during recruitment and selection, so there are, like, for example, um encoding, data entry, yung speed typing test. That's one. Okay,
Pwede.
maybe pwede, 'di ba? Typing test.
Pwede.
Kasi minsan ganun ang mga test natin. And then maybe like English proficiency, you can also deliver that. Okay, maybe the IQ exam can be
Yes.
also, yes. So it's something that, you can use also parang outside of L&D, maybe encroaching on anything that you would need to have, to document the results of tests or
Yeah.
a certain endeavor. You can use that. You can actually put it in the LMS because it's customizable.
yeah. And what I like about it, as Jen mentioned, you have flexibility to explore and really maximize. No, so aside from doing that for talent acquisition, companies will have CSR activities, right? They some will have early internship for maybe college students. This is one way for them to maybe early onboard some employees for OJT or something. And I know that there are a lot of systems that are really for hiring and talent acquisition, right? But maybe this is for there are also some companies based on the size and the nature of their industry, they want to be smart about their investments where they can find the solution that will allow them to explore different use cases just
Mhm.
by maximizing the available features of the platform. And that's what Jen always likes to feature with our clients as well.
Yeah, because like I because right now with recruitment, especially there was like there's a framework that I'm using, especially for people for sales, because it's
Ah, yeah.
very hard to hire for
Mhm.
sales. these days, okay?
Yeah.
But what we can do is maybe like, have a training program, okay, for OJT that, they would be earmarked for sales. And then we can see, okay, they can be given training for that. And then who
Yes.
knows, diba? It's blended, but we can already have a file of who is,
Yeah,
yeah,
Yes.
that's
diba?
true.
Yes.
So
And it's
that's,
always gonna be there in the platform. So if you use Matrix for that, it stays there unless you delete it. So if you want to
Yeah.
review, sino ba yung those who
Mm.
are interns before, or those who have taken probably an applicant before, that can also be, parang pwede nating tawagan ulit just to review their how they did from the recruitment or from their OJT or internship. It's easy, it's handy. Parang point and click lang yan, tapos nandun na lahat.
yeah, oo. Kasi it's like, the main point kasi is like, HR will always be data-driven. Okay, moving forward, okay, as we are being globalized, okay, and we actually need to, kasi of course, having this shift during the pandemic, people have actually parang seen the benefits of storing data, okay, storing a lot of information. So our decisions will be very data driven. So this one, it's a very handy tool, okay. So you can use it for L&D, and then it can be used for CSR activities, for documentation there.
Yes. And even reporting. So for example, you want to generate reports on the user progress, the consumption of courses, compliance, assessments, even badges and certificates that's been awarded to those who are taking the training, yung progress ng learner, course status, time spent in a course. Kasi minsan tinitingnan na din natin yan, lalo na pag training is happening online. We want to make sure that they're there and how much time they spent in a particular module that's in a learning management system, or the number of visits that they did to a particular course. All of this can be generated in our reporting feature. So we have a custom reporting. Meron din kaming catalog of reporting, instant report that you can already generate. So there's like a lot of data that you can generate from the system that will be helpful, as you mentioned, in making decisions. What would we do next? Especially pag tinitingnan natin progress of the trainees na. How are they progressing in the course that they're taking, or in the module or training that they're taking? Depending on the data that the system is providing us, we can make decisions or early interventions to those who are lagging behind. So that's kind of like one of the beauty of having a learning management system with a really nice, powerful reporting feature or functionality.
Okay, I actually tried to surf your site, okay, but I have like a question here. Okay, so of course, a lot of people are usually OC about the budget. So, for a smaller company, maybe like around 100 people, do you have like a package for that? So, what is the minimum number?
Yeah, you can start. Yeah, we can start with 100 employees package. I think that's the smallest one that we have. And then if you need to add active learners, you just add additional learners, and they can even pay directly from the site.
Oh, I see. And so here, okay, so when you meet your clients, okay, so what are their frequently asked questions?
How much is that dog in the window?
Sometimes at the onset, price is the one asked. But
minsan yun agad yung naiitanong before how can it help our organization meet our organizational objective, but that's FAQ.
Yeah, but that's why I've been asking you, what else can this platform be used for? Because syempre, ano yan, paano natin susulitin yan?
Actually, we have organizations that are looking at it to generate additional revenue, right? So for example, if you're in an industry where you have established your brand and you have your suppliers, you have your key partners, and you develop really very interesting and educational programs, we have what we call the e-commerce capability. It will allow you to sell courses. So we've had customers, for example, we have a school, one school who decided to sell certificate courses or other programs, creative programs to different markets. So that's an additional revenue stream. For a franchising company that we have, of course, they decided to use it to sell courses, aside from the packaged training programs that they are providing for their franchisees, they offer additional courses, and that adds revenue to them as well. So, and we're also happy to help also other training companies where their bread and butter is really providing training to other organizations. We have one client, their work is medical coding or transcriptioning, so they provide that kind of training. And what they were saying was, when the pandemic hit, they were the only one who was able to continue with their business. Their two top competitors had to temporarily shut down, and the other one really closed down. So it was really a matter of survival, even for training companies. So we were happy to help, to be given the chance to help also companies who needed to restart their business, go beyond the constraints of the pandemic. But another thing is data privacy. So a lot of companies are asking about our security, data privacy. So of course, we're GDPR compliant, which is one of the most stringent data privacy compliance standards in the world, which is based in Europe. Our platform is based on the cloud, but it's in AWS, which is one of the most secure platforms or cloud-based services around the world. And we've never had, of course, there will be attempts, but we've never had any security breaches, fingers crossed, since we started Matrix. So we have a very secure and robust system.
Yeah, so this one can be like what the term was, they said they will try to make it self-liquidating.
Yeah, that's true. And it's valid, right? Because training has always been considered as a cost center. That's understandable. That's why we're happy to be able to share that this can actually open up, be able to look at training as another opportunity, maybe as a revenue generating activity. Of course, but that would involve other departments. But having a platform that can provide that, or just cost reduction, really means a lot to a company, right?
Even in schools, Arlene, if you remember, just the university where we used to teach, the cost of printing, kasi we run like a competition, yung syllabus. Yung syllabus ngayon sa university, it's on the average 15 pages yan, times the number of students, times the number of subjects. That can cost millions in printing. So once they realize that, hey, we can put this in an LMS, there's no more printing of the syllabus. How much money can they save? Probably, and that reduces also the cost of paying for the LMS. The LMS is not expensive, but it's very powerful. Cost-benefit analysis. It's more beneficial than the cost. More benefits versus the cost. So that's kind of like really something that the company Cypher Learning can offer to the clients, and we've proven that over the years already.
So that's like the cost part, okay? So maybe they can think about it in the bigger picture. The bigger picture is when they invest in it, it can it can lead to a new revenue stream. Okay, so to be able to fund the endeavor.
And the subscription also, Arlene, they can upgrade and downgrade anytime depending on the number of trainees that they have. Very flexible yung subscription plan.
So this one, okay, so you will so when a company decides to sign up, okay, so they purchase the service, okay, what is the skill level of the admins? Okay, so what kind of people do you need to maintain the platform?
Common question din yan that's being asked of us many times. They're thinking, do I need to be an IT? Do I need to have like a really good background in technology for us to be able to do this? Actually, no. Si Arlene, tatawa kayo sa background naman. I'm teaching in the business. We're both in the College of Business. Pero we're running the LMS dun sa school, sa university where we used to teach. You don't need to have an IT background. For me, you don't need to have an IT background because the platform itself is very easy to manage, very user friendly, very easy to set up, very easy to implement, and we have like a lot of clients also that they're managing the platform but they don't have any IT background. For me, you just need to be a lover of technology. Kasi importante yun. Kailangan naiintindihan mo how the use of that technology and how it can help you achieve your organizational objective so that you're also able to manage the platform even if you don't have that IT background. I really don't want to say also na dapat tech savvy ka kasi pag tech savvy, isipin nila kailangan sobrang galing ko sa technology. For me, it's just, you just need to know and understand the use of the technology and how it can help achieve your objective. So, dapat tech lover. Not necessarily an IT background, yes. That's a plus factor. Kasi it also depends on how heavy the integration would be. Kasi si Matrix LMS also has a capability to be integrated with different platform. No? So if that's the case, so we would be needing also the help of our IT, the IT of the company to help with with managing that or to help with the integration and managing the system. So it's a combination.
Okay, so like one customization would probably, like for example, you have a website. Can this be linked to the website?
Yes.
Oh,
In a
okay.
point and click way,
Mhm.
you just create a shortcut in the Matrix LMS and your website URL can be there. You can click it right away. So no coding needed. No
Okay.
coding needed.
Kasi yun, parang, ay, nako, baka ano to, masyadong high-tech to. Okay,
No
so,
coding needed. Point and click. That's kind of like how we describe it. You point, you click, and it's there.
okay. So we've addressed actually like the content. So the content, this is like actually designed by the trainers of the company. Okay. And then they just put it in the platform. Okay.
Yes.
So, and then, so we have like the e-commerce part, etc. Oh, so yun na yun. So anyway, I have a question for both of you since you're educators. So there. So so there's always a, 'cause a lot, I'm an educator myself. Okay, I have young learners, but okay, what skills do you need actually? Okay, if you're like, if I was a parent, what skills would you need? Okay, for to actually nurture in your kids, so that they would be able to ride with the challenges, okay, of the future, something like that. Okay, so
Maybe Arlene is the best person to
Yeah.
answer that
yeah,
question. Kids.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
don't have any children, but Arlene is probably the best person
Yeah,
to
but for
address that question.
professionals also, what skills should they invest in? Okay. And then these are skills that they can use forever. So
Yeah.
what would be more important skills to invest
Mhm.
in?
Uh, when you think about, you've often heard about this probably, yung fourth industrial revolution, where we need certain set of skills. And it's interesting that when you talk about digital or ICT skills, yeah, you have to learn a little bit about coding, have a little bit of understanding about how computers work, how applications interconnect. But I think the bigger thing that people really need to know is learning how to communicate and collaborate remotely, learning how to be able to empathize with people even if you don't have a chance to meet them face to face. If most of our interactions are really something like this Zoom session where we interact, learning how to communicate and get your ideas across in this particular medium is
Yes.
something we're learning that right now. Like everybody has been forced to be a remote worker because of the pandemic, and all the funny memes that you're seeing is really a reflection of how we're learning. But I think at the core of it is we need to be lifelong learners. We need to ditch the idea that, yeah, I'm done with school because I got a college degree. I have an MBA. I have a PhD. I know that everything that that is needed to know in the world.
Mm.
We have to have that mindset that there will always be something that we can learn, that we can have to be a perpetual student And I think that's the key. If you are naturally interested in a lot of things, and since most of our dynamics right now is online, so just to have a natural interest. So if you're interested in language, right? If you want to learn new language, there's a lot of tools, free tools that you can use to learn language. So inherently being curious about things will lead you to the right places. So I think that's the, we don't need to be intimidated about um, data analytics, data science. Yeah, it's there. But the basic part of being open to learning, I think, is the key to for everyone, and we should also teach that to our kids as well.
Yeah.
Well,
And
I have to agree.
yeah, sorry.
Yes,
So
Miss Jen.
preparing the students for the future, they have to be future ready. So if you've heard of the International Society for Technology and Education, they already have a standard for students, that students should be empowered learners, they should be digital citizens, they should be knowledge constructors, innovative, computational thinker, creative communicator, global collaborator. Those are the skills that probably the students of today would have to learn, so that they will become future ready. Sense making, social intelligence, yeah. Those are just some of the skills na beyond technical skills, may iba pang skills. Dati we call it we call it
Soft skills.
soft
Now
skills.
it's essential skills.
Di ba? It's essential skills na, kasi pag din naman we're too focused on technology, minsan nawawala na yung social skills natin, yung EQ, bumababa eh. So that's very important din. Empathy, we need to learn that. That's also very important na. So combination of all of these skills that the learner should be prepared for ng mga teachers who are there. So educators play a very critical role with what happens to the learners in the future. Kasi mga learners natin ngayon, they will be part of this industry that we're talking about. They will be part of this, they will be taking this training. So imagine if a school will not really embrace the use of technology, and then suddenly you graduate and you become a part of a highly technological company. How are you going to adapt? Paano ka magpe-prepare? So we know the training is, ang connotation ng training expensive. I would want to hire someone that I don't need to train from scratch. I need someone who already at least have a background, basic or background about the job, or at least kung technology and about technology. I don't need to teach them how to use a computer. They should learn that from school already. Tuturuan ko pa sila pagdating sa trabaho. So those are the things that we need to prepare our students for. It's like future-proofing them.
Yeah, that's because that's a big thing right now. And I do agree, okay, that the ones that you said, like the ones that were classified as soft skills, they're becoming very important skills, especially because of globalization and because of like the technology now. In fact, I answered one question in another forum. Okay, so what would make you stay in our country despite our challenges?
Mhm.
And I would say that because my roots are here. And well, you don't really need to go, to fly to immigrate to another country. There will come a time that to be able to being employed in another country, you wouldn't need to be there physically. So remote working. Actually, I'm part of a company. Okay, we do hiring for remote workers. And what I've noticed that we've got very skilled technical people. But we do have to improve on our communication skills. And it's just not also the communication skills, but the confidence level. Because yung parang di ba, you were trained I've been having these conversations with organizations that get me as a speaker, and I do feel that we actually put down, I don't know, there's a generation, okay, of Filipinos or a demographic of Filipinos that what they do is they water down their strengths. Diba? Yung tinatawag nating pa-humble effect. So as that's part of our actually I'm a communication coach, okay? And I do tell people that of course tooting your own horn is not good, but okay, you shouldn't also be too modest, okay? Or you shouldn't put down yourself.
I think if you're passionate about if you're passionate about something, you have a sense of purpose and you want to pursue that sense of purpose, I think that can carry you though. You're promoting yourself because you're pursuing something. Like in your case, Christina, I know you're very passionate about HR. So we talked about being a little bit introverted, right?
Yes,
Remember that conversation. But we're willing to go out of our shell because we believe about something that's very important. I think that's also a way to navigate, being shy or, having that, what do you call that? There's a term for it, that I cannot remember right now.
But are you guys introverted?
Me, Jen, no.
I'm super extroverted. That's why this pandemic sometimes it's taking its toll on, because I need to be outside. I need to be talking to people. That fuels my energy. Like what you mentioned, kanina, Eileen was talking about passion. So when you have passion for something, it comes out naturally. It fuels you. So ako, high level ng pagka-extrovert ko. It shows all the time. I cannot hide it.
I attest to this.
Well, actually, the pandemic, people thought I was extroverted, but it's actually because of the jobs that I've been taking, because they mislabeled me. And there was a particular test that I took when I was, it's actually a pre-employment test. And because it's not about introversion or extroversion, but there's like a parang super aggressive. So they thought I was an extrovert, but they didn't know. I was just, the aggression was raging inside.
And also, diba, you took that test when we had that training before, remember? And we were
nobody believed.
So no one was. It's kind of like 4 quadrants, and she was the only person in that quadrant. And you were like, "Are you introverted ka?" Parang ganun yung. So imagine yung trainings that I'm giving. When I give trainings, yung energy level na. Kasi kailangan it's needed when you're doing training. Yeah, I can understand you, Christina, kasi the industry that you're at, it would need you to, I don't want to say to become extroverted, but it's what's needed. Sometimes you need to change your role. Parang artista, diba? You have to be in character. You have to play the role also. So yung una, we thought also that you're extroverted. When you mentioned the introverted,
I am an INTJ actually. I've been retaking the test kasi parang walang gustong maniwala. Kaya I don't memorize the test. It's just that I'll take the test. Okay, tingnan mo. Makikita mo.
Kasi common misconception sa mga introverted, they would always think that they have to be quiet people. You sit in the corner and they don't say anything. I think it's
not about being shy. It's not about.
It's a misconception. It's something deeper than that. Kung yung pagiging introvert, it's the same thing with extrovert. We also have that moment.
Well, what I know is that because I actually am in awe of extrovert, because extroverts, parang they're actually you guys like people and you like to be around people.
They feel energized with people.
Yeah, yung ganon.
That's true. Actually, that's true.
Yung introverts kasi me, like if I'm with a group of people, I can cope with that. However, after the activity, I would need to withdraw.
Social fuel is
parang may may 2 hour lang ako. Parang may
ganun. Yung battery for 2 hours. Limit yung energy ko pang 2 hours.
Parang ganun.
I don't know sa extroverts kung may limit ba yung energy. Meron din siguro, I don't know.
But I do know that I have a lot of friends who are extroverted, and the pandemic has been a challenge. Well, they talk to me actually, and then we talk. Kasi ako naman, I don't know if you would agree, Arlene. Kasi I have sometimes I talk, my mind talks to me. So I need to.
That's introversion.
Yeah. So I have to talk to somebody else. Kasi sometimes my husband is asking me, who are you talking to? Why are you laughing? Sometimes I'm just working.
That's normal. My husband is an introvert and he talks to himself.
We're going back to relating introversion and extroversion also with online interactions or online learning. when we were teachers and even now with the training, no, the online learning actually helps introverts shine. Kasi with discussion
Yes,
forums, you don't need to
that's
be
right.
we notice that those who are usually quiet in the classroom, they really outperform those. Well, not in all cases, but they tend to do well in the online world
Discussion
because
forums.
it's really very good for them. So that's also a good thing. No? We have a chance to reach out also to the introverted.
They have a place to share their ideas. So for example, in Matrix, there's discussion forums. So imagine an activity that can be done. Kung face-to-face yan, yung mga extroverts yan, laging yan may I raise my hand, I can talk. Pero yung mga introvert, that they will just sit there and wait for their turn, probably pray that I hope that they don't call me because, maubos ang energy ko sa pagsalita. But with the platform, for example, like Matrix, you can do discussion forums where the introverts will have a space. Tama si Arjen, will have a space to shine and to share their ideas or their opinions or anything that they want to share. So imagine, yung introvert na mahilig magsulat, tapos extrovert na mahilig magsalita sa discussion forum, sobrang haba niyan. Sobrang haba niyan. And that's raising also the engagement in a training.
No, that's good to hear because I do notice like I've met a lot of introverts, okay? Yeah, if you guys, okay, I would invite you to actually explore all the HR forums here. Not just my forum, but there's so we have HR Shouts and Whispers. So and then I came actually from HR Philippines, and then there's also Philippines HR, and then there are a lot. If you look at that, the discussion is what you call robust, okay? Because yun nga, especially di ba sinabi ko sa inyo when they're talking about employee discipline, that would take a lot of hours, even the whole day, okay? So but my question now is, we were talking about introverts, extroverts. So, like you guys, okay, so you're in education. Have you heard of certain, personality tests like MBTI? And then moving forward, I've heard of like predictive index. So, what do you think of these tests? Okay, so are they conclusive, or what? How can you use psychological or personality tests for educational needs?
In my case, no, when you're starting a course, it's nice to get to know the personalities, no. So these tests help. Of course, there's varying opinions about that, no. You can have debates with psychologists and etc. But doing that and also looking at learning preferences, whether they want to be listening to something or watching something or being kinesthetic, actually
learning styles.
Yes. So when preparing for a training program, or even I think I did this before preparing for a training program, when I was an ODN training person. I did the test so I know their personalities, even the conflict management styles, if you know that test on conflict management styles. So part of the workshop is to do all of these tests and be aware of what the personality, MBTI and the conflict management styles, because it helps in the interaction when you're working with your peers, and also designing learning experiences as well. So if you know that most of your students in the class are introverted, so you design activities according to what will be better motivators for them. Jen has a lot of that also.
That helps a lot. Actually, I do some of those tests. I give some of those tests to my students before I prepare lessons. Para alam ko what to prepare, what kind of personality my learner has. Ano yung mas dominant personality, so that when you create your instruction, your content mo, it could be based on their personality. Kasi minsan pag sa mga teachers, for example, I'll just create videos kasi mahilig ako mag-create ng videos. But what if your learners are not so much into videos, they like reading? Gusto nila nagbabasa, or some are auditory. So that's something that helps really an educator or even a trainer, as Arlene mentioned, prepare those content that will help address, or that's gonna be helpful to the different learning requirements. Hindi na nga daw learning needs or styles, learning needs or learning requirements of those who are attending the training. And what's good about having a platform like Matrix is that it can tap all of those learning needs or styles or requirements, as you want to call it. So you can prepare content that has videos for those who are very visual. To those who loves to read, you can add text, or combination of text, images, videos, or audio for auditory. So you can put that in one content so that everybody gets to have gets to benefit from that content. Kasi kung ako very visual ako eh. Si Eileen, mahilig to magbasa. But hindi ako masyado sa basa. I would rather see and hear for me to learn. Tamad ako magbasa. Even yung mga manual, binabasa ko lang yan pag ay wala na talaga ako magawa kundi basahin yung manual. So I would need something that that I can hear, I can see. So that helps a lot. Yung mga test na ganon, when we give it prior to the training, will help the content provider create a really good content.
So this one, okay, so what we're saying is you have to determine, okay, what kind of tools and training that are good motivators so that there's high engagement from the learners. So that's how you're just going to use those tests. Okay. So it's actually a very synthesized approach to learning. And I think that having a platform, okay, I think that I see a lot of benefits, okay, because I won't focus 80% or maybe 60% because usually it's actually logistics. Would you believe? I think that was like my generation. We were focusing more on the logistics.
Yeah. That's true. It's hard to personalize, right, Justina? It's hard to personalize. Most of the trainings right now is still like assembly line approach. You get X number of people in one room and then do the same interaction with all of them and expect the same result, right? By using a learning management system, you have the opportunity to provide personalized learning. So if somebody scores in an assessment low, the system can automatically add additional modules for him so that he can perform better. Whereas those who are very familiar already with the content or with the training material can take it faster.
Yeah.
So without having to logistically be a nightmare for the trainer, but provide differentiated learning experiences based on the varying needs and preferences of the trainees, right? So that's also the advantage. It would be impossible close to impossible or a nightmare doing it manually, diba? Can you imagine 1:1?
No, I used to, because this is before what we will do is we will get a consultant, okay? Or for example, we'll have TNA and then the TNA will actually synthesize it and then have a program for very simplified. Like we'll have a program for the rank and file, we'll have a program for the window management, and then but sometimes it's not that organized because parang kung halimbawa, like I was in the IT industry for some time, biglang may mag-request ng training. Then they will give us the prospectus and we would have to determine, so can we afford this? Will we do this, etc. But this one, you can actually plan it and then you have you can have a calendar.
Yeah. Definitely.
And then you can manage when a particular course will open depending on the progress that the trainee is doing on a previous course. So it's adaptive training, and that's kind of like already redefining training as the title nung session natin. That's redefining it. But previously, it's not possible because we don't have the technology. We have to do things manually. We have to look at things in the paper and pencil way. But now that we have the technology, now that we have the tool that's available, we can maximize the use of it, take advantage of it, so that we can streamline all of those tasks, make the task easier for the L&D team, for the trainer, but at the same time, not compromising the quality of the training that we're giving and the quality of the content that we have.
So this is an idea because like if you were the HR director, okay, from a top management's perspective, this one, since you have this program for L&D, now it all makes sense that you will have a training bond. Okay, you will have that, and then you will also have, kasi usually may bond yan like 100,000, and then for the IT industry 200,000. People contest that because they don't see it, they don't see anything. But if you have this system, it's easier to say that, because of this plan. So which is what I like about this kind of why it makes sense to have a learning management system, so that people can visualize, this is the kind of training that we're getting. And so when they look at their contracts, it makes sense why they have a bond. So yeah, but that's a contestable topic.
I've heard.
Okay, but what I'm just saying is that at least all things that are in your employee contract, in your manuals, okay, and then with these programs, and then they know what, it's easier to sell the company to a prospective applicant or hiree. Ganon. Kasi they see their career na Like when I'm a new graduate, this is the company you're going into. This is your future, and then we will help you, grow in this company. So magaling to. Okay, I like this kind kasi you can already see it visually, and then if you have a platform, they can always research it. So that's actually the essence of having these kinds of tools, okay? So anyway, but guys, as I've said, okay, this is actually just a complement because the HR would have to give a program. And as you can see, the backgrounds of our resource people, Miss Jen is an educator, and then Arlene is like has this background in org dev,
OD and training.
And training. So you are in capable hands when you do consult with them. So guys, okay, so where can they contact you if they are interested in your service?
Oh yes, if I'll share my screen so that it's easy for them to remember. So we have our email address, and also here, let me just quickly share my screen. So they can contact us through our email here. So sales@cypherlearning.com. Mine is jen@cypherlearning.com, not .com. And then Arlene@cypherlearning.com. Let me quickly.
Okay, very nice. Okay, so and yes, when I researched it, okay, so this is the Philippines. Okay, so the Philippine presence of Cypher Learning, but Cypher Learning is a very big conglomerate.
A global company.
Yes,
it's a global company.
Wow, so interesting. So anyhow, see, 1 hour actually flew by.
That's fun. That's fun.
Okay, and so we have. I just want to greet, our usual viewers. Okay, so hi guys. Okay, so we have Anne Mary. Okay, she's inviting her friends to also watch this. And then our usual, which is Miss G. Okay, so we have Ray Tateo. And then I saw one of the moderators of HR Shouts. Okay, that was Dee Uncott. So hi Dee, how are you? So there. And then any final words before we call it a day?
Well, maybe for me, just keep learning. Sabi nga ni Erin kanina, it's a continuous process. But don't be scared of technology, and please take away that mindset that you will be replaced. You will not be replaced by technology. Technology is just a tool. The real story are the trainers and the learners who are taking those courses. So don't be scared of technology. Technology is not our enemy. It's here to supplement what we're doing in the training industry, in the company, in our organization. So just keep learning. Technology is kind of like love. Alam niyo yung sinasabi nila na with love, age does not matter. It's the same with technology. Age does not matter. So just keep learning how to use it, and then everything will be like a breeze for you.
Wow, that was great. Okay, technology is just like love. Age doesn't matter. Quotable. How about you, Miss Arlene?
So basically, maybe when you think about the learning management system, let's always remember it's not about the technology. what we're actually doing is we're building a learning space, a place where the entire organization can have a space to learn and interact, and also build a body of knowledge. No? So yung communities of practice, being able to learn and share among the community. So you're not purchasing or you're not looking for a system, you're actually building the capability of a company, not just in its employees, no, the ability of the organization to learn. And I think that's the core of the role of L&D. So you have a very powerful tool that will help you achieve your L&D objectives. And of course, this is a part of our advocacy. So please feel free to reach us if you have any questions. We'll be happy to share our experiences as well. Thank you for inviting us, Christina.
Well, actually, this was fun. Yeah, this was fun.
We had fun.
Well, me, actually, I've always dreamt. So my first job actually was, well, I was a reporter before, but I was in multimedia. I was a copywriter for a multimedia company. That was in the 1990s, late 1990s. I have to emphasize late 1990s. But, you know, I actually am a lover of technology because it's fun and it, you know, you meet a lot of people, and especially in this day and age, okay, you learn from a lot of people, not just here in the Philippines, but you can interact with, you know, a lot of experts in Southeast Asia, Australia, and the US. So that's what happened with us in the pandemic. And this one is this kind of technology also, you can say that it leveled the playing field. So it doesn't matter whether you're introverted or extroverted. In fact, okay, a lot of people have excelled regardless of their personality.
Yeah.
Okay, never say die, and that's what's important. And keep on learning. So I'm also an advocate of that philosophy. So anyhow, okay, so you guys, you flashed your contact information, and then to our viewers, you know how to contact our guests. And this was a fun evening. So again, thank you for another
background. They can go to that site, matrixlms.com.
Yes. So yeah, that you can surf the website, and then you can actually try their 14-day trial. It's free. So you can, you know, go around with it. So anyway, okay, guys, I won't stop you because I think it's dinner time. And okay, so it was a nice discussion, and then keep us posted if you have updates. You're part of the HR community circle. So if you have updates, just don't hesitate to post your announcements. Okay. And then, yes. So guys, okay, so this is a fun evening. I'll just have to say goodbye for now. Okay. But bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Good evening, everyone. Happy weekend.
Bye.
Okay. Be safe, everyone. During the pandemic, why don't you upskill in the comforts of your own home? Improve and add more certificates in your resume. Simple, direct, easy. Visit the playlist in our YouTube channel. Browse through our videos and choose the video that interests you. Send in your requests for a particular video, and we will send back the certificate via email. Watch this full video for the details.